Oh, we're going to miss him terribly. He's a very effective legislator, but he made a commitment to himself and to his family 10 years, and then he was going to move on. And big shoes to fill. He will be missed, but he's got a family, and he's got other ideas and needs for his future and his family's future. So we wish him luck.
Speaker DeLeo, can you talk about Representative Ellen's story, announcing that she won't be seeking re-election either? What does this mean for Western Massachusetts?
Well, Ellen is a lady who I sat next to, as a matter of fact, for a good many years, and came into legislature fairly close. So I can tell you, relative to the district she represents, primarily Amherst, I guess, that she's going to be severely missed. Not only that, as part of my leadership team, I often have to say, request of her to, give me her feelings on particular issues. So she'll be missed there as well, and I just wish her the best. I think that with the spending more time with her grandchild is probably one of the biggest items on her agenda right now.
Senate President, could you talk about Ben Downing one more time? Give us someone's head who's going to be replacing.
So I was just saying about Senator Downing that he'll be missed. He's got big shoes to fill, but he made a commitment to himself and his family that he would spend about a decade in the legislature, and he's done that. And now he's going to look for other opportunities to do good things for people and to support his family and his future career objectives.
What do these two departures mean for your region?
For our region, well, as I was saying to Matt, that there's about typically legislators serve 8 to 12 years, so you expect, on average, about every 10 years, you're going to see people move out of the body. It's a big loss for Western Massachusetts, but we have other talented people, and I'm sure that Berkshire County is going to produce an excellent senator. Again, big shoes to fill, but they've got some really great legislators and other folks out there who could look at this seat and be very effective members of the Senate.
Governor Baker, there's an article in the new issue of the New Yorker that came out this week that focuses on...
I've been paying a lot of attention to the New Yorker, Josh, as I'm sure you know. Yeah.
I want to just read you an excerpt from it. Linda Spears, your DCF commissioner, plays a big role in this story, and she's authored Joe Lepore, Harvard professor, said during the decades in which the right and left battled over abortion, a whole raft of programs designed to prevent neglect of young children were being dismantled. Little of that exists anymore, and programs aimed at prevention have proved impossible to rebuild. This is a quote from Linda Spears. Agencies have tried to get closer to the prevention model, but it's just not how the field is set up, Spears told me. When budget cuts come, you can cut prevention, but you can't cut intervention. And that's the end of the quote. Presumably, preventing abuse and neglect by providing family support services would reduce the number of children in juvenile justice systems and in adult justice systems too. Quote, if you could do it, the savings would be enormous. I'm curious on your take on that. It's from Linda Spears.
I think that's reasonably consistent with a number of initiatives that have been pursued here in the Commonwealth over the years. Massachusetts has a long history. I mean, we were one of the first states in the country to have a fully funded early intervention program. We were one of the first states in the country to have a home visiting program for at-risk pregnant women. We were one of the first states in the country to have what I would describe as sort of a soup to nuts approach to handling and supporting women both after they delivered and during that first year. And in many cases, a lot of the stuff that we've done as a Commonwealth in a whole variety of areas around prevention has been certainly not very far behind where the rest of the country's gone. I do believe that the big challenge that's always faced by every child welfare agency is the whole question of playing two roles: the role of protecting kids and the role of supporting families. And it's one of the biggest challenges they face. And one of the things we've talked a lot with the commissioner and with the secretary, and frankly with the social worker union and their leadership about, is that dual responsibility. And we've sided for the most part on the idea that our goal from a programmatic point of view should be to keep kids safe. And if keeping kids safe means working to support families, all for it. If keeping kids safe means working to find alternatives for those kids, we're all for that too. But the goal here ought to be to start with keeping kids safe. And the program model ought to be driven off of that fundamental objective. And I think for the most part, that's a view that's pretty consistently held by everybody. Yeah.
Senator Spilka has another bill. It's an act to establish pay equity. This is the equal pay for women. Where do each of you stand on that bill?
Well, it's illegal to discriminate on the basis of pay based on gender or any other criteria, as it should be. And I tend not to comment on specific legislation as it works its way through the process. But I certainly believe that anything we can do to make sure that Massachusetts continues to be a place where no matter who you are, you believe you're getting a fair shot with respect to your employment is a good thing. But the devil oftentimes is in the details on this stuff.
Speak first, or?
I will tell you that I have always been and have said a number of times that I'm obviously in favor of equal pay for equal work, and have so stated. Relative to the particular piece of legislation, again, I would have to state that I really need to take a look at the other provisions. But I will tell you that has always been my overriding statement to everything, that what I believe is equal pay for equal work.
So the Senate has got the bill teed up for debate. We hope it'll be this week, assuming that we are able to complete all of the matters that we hope to debate. The focus of the bill is to provide information so that people know what other people are being paid in their workplace, and that disclosure and transparency, we hope, will address a substantial portion of the problem. And so I think it's a good bill, and I'm glad we're going to debate it, and I'm hoping that we can do so and send it over to the House this week.
Last question. I wonder if the governor or Senate President or the Speaker have any thoughts on Senator Markey today put a hold on the nominee for the FDA, saying that essentially he's concerned that the FDA has had too lax of policy when it comes to opioid painkillers, particularly when it comes to allowing opioid painkillers to children. Just wondering if you're aware of that or have any thoughts on that decision, or how it might impact the state given the problem here.
I don't know enough about the rules of engagement with respect to the way the Senate nomination process. I mean, I know generally how it works, but I have no idea if what the senator's doing is considered to be sort of within the bounds of what the standard operating procedure on this stuff or not. I will say this. Anytime we have an opportunity to raise the visibility around the prevalence and the distribution of opioid medication and the, as I said in my State of the State last week, the very casual way in which I believe the healthcare community has dealt with the addictive consequences of this stuff historically, I think is a good thing. The fact that he has chosen to go this route has generated a ton of news about the issue. My view is the more news on this, the better. But again, I say that not understanding enough about the protocols on this to know if this is, sort of an appropriate forum to raise this or not. And I don't know anything about whether the guy or the person who's currently being put up to be the head of the FDA has any history on these issues or not. I just don't know.
So my opinion on this is I think the FDA has got to be shaken up a little bit, and I hope we'll get a head in there who will do some shaking up. And I hope that Senator Markey can get some commitments on this issue and maybe some others as they continue to discuss his nomination.
I don't really know the gentleman in question or his record in terms of opioids. I obviously do know Senator Markey, so I feel that if he really has concerns about this, then it was proper for him, obviously, to bring it up at this time. What I think is probably even more important than that is the fact that right now, as a result of what's happened, this discussion about opioids is taking place in Washington in a more serious manner probably, and throughout the country for that man. And for that, I think that's one of the best outcomes we could have had as a result of the comment that the senator made.
And as a result of all that, I'm looking forward to having another opioid bill on my desk that I'll be able to sign at some point in the not-too-distant future.
All right.
I got a 3:30 that's been waiting for me. I'll see you guys.
Thank you.